Greetings, Earthlings. All right, let's review how we got here. This is part 2 of the repair of this thing, the Hewlett-Packard 34703A. What I found at the end of the last video was a bad diode in the input protection circuit. Now, I didn't show this because I only have the printed I only have the printed schematic here, so this is kind of hard to show. But this is the input protection circuit. How did I know that that diode was bad? Well, TP1 right here, if you can see that, I measured that, and that should be, well, it's saying here it should be like -1 volts. Well, that's when it's set to ohms. But anyway, no matter what, I think I had it at measuring voltage, and so it should have been 0. But I was seeing like -3 volts there. So that kind of led me back to here, it turned out... see, there's a Zener diode here, if you can see that, Zener diode, which is about a 3-volt Zener diode. So there's -3 volts there, and yeah. So, get that out of the way. So as we can see here, this is that old diode, and you can see it kind of looks like a resistor. And if I switch the polarity in the other direction, it looks like a resistor over there as well. So that diode has turned into a resistor. Actually, I think I can. You can see it starts to bend here. That's 0.2468, about 0.8 volts. It does start to bend. But anyway, that's no good. So, those are special low leakage diodes, pico amp diodes, pads. Okay, and I did find some at a not totally outrageous price. DigiKey had them for like $7 a piece. So I got 5 of them. And then these are come in a 3-lead package, where one of the leads is just connected to the case. So I've cut that off. So this is the new one. Okay, you can see that there, and it looks now just like the old one. And so let's see if I hook this up the same. I don't know if I have this. I think that went there. That went there. I don't remember the polarity. But what we'll see is, in one direction, it looks like a diode. And again, this is 0.2 volts per division. So 2, 4, 6, somewhere around 0.8 volts or so. It goes up a little before 0.8. Switch the polarity, it's an open circuit in that direction. So that's good. Yeah. And I have a flaky switch here in my B&K Jubby. Okay, so I need to install that, and we'll see if it goes back to basically working again. Okay, and I've got that part replaced. It's right there. I don't know if you can see that. I did notice that as I was cleaning up the board, because again, this is a low leakage part, so I went into clean off the flux with alcohol, and I also cleaned off the flux from this other part here, but I noticed that another transistor from back here had previously been replaced. There was flux on its pads. What that means, I don't know, but let's see if this fixed the problem. I'm in volts. Turn it on. I should see. This is exactly the same as before. Yeah. Did I blow up the new part? Let's go and check test point 1. We'll go to volts. I mean, that diode was bad. I proved that, right? We saw it on the curve tracer. So that needed to be replaced anyway. But it's looking like now there's some other problem. This will be ground right here coming in. So I got a tangled mess of leads here. You can see that? Yeah, you can kind of see that. I'm going to plug it back in. I am going to turn it on. And I'm going to find test point 1. There's 2, there's 6, there's 1 right there. Minus 3.8 volts. Okay. Same symptoms as before. It is almost like that part has failed. Well, we'll keep looking. Okay, so I lifted the leg of the diode that I replaced, and it still does measure okay as a diode. So it did not blow up. Good news. I did find another problem here, which I don't think is related to what we're seeing, but if you can see these little diodes here with their legs lifted, that one is bad right there. That is in the, where is it? Well, it's right here. It's right here. It's the current, let's see, there you go. Current section overload protection. Which one? I think it's this one that's bad. Again, recall that there was a fuse over here that was blown, which is in the current measuring path. So it's looking like at some point somebody hit this with an excessive current. Blew, well, probably the diode went first and then the fuse blew. But I don't think that's related to what we're seeing, because as we saw, it was working, measuring both resistance and voltage until it decided not to work. So I don't have those diodes in stock. I've got some on order now. I'm still trying to figure out what to do. How to track down the problem that we do see, where there's like minus 3 volts at test point. Well, let me see. I wrote this down somewhere. Test point 2 has minus. No, it does not have minus 12 volts. No, it doesn't. Let me see. I think test point 2 has oh, here, yeah. Test point 2, oh yeah, it has minus 12 volts. And test point 1 has like minus 4 volts. Okay. Yeah. Over there. Test point 2 minus 12, test point 1 minus 4. And that's regardless of what I put in, because it has switched the voltage range up to the 1,000 volt range. So if I put 1 volt in, normally it would come straight through here, K7, to test point 1. But because it thinks there's 1,000 volts, it's coming down through here and through there, or something like that. So yeah, so there shouldn't be anywhere near, minus 12. Well, it shouldn't be near 12, minus 12 or minus 4. And as I mentioned, what I want to do is like lift the legs on some of these JFETs, but they're in that hybrid right there. Can you see the hybrid? They're in there, and so they do not lend themselves well to leg lifting. So I guess we'll leave it there for this video and pick it up again after I get those diodes. I'm going to replace both of them. After I get those diodes replaced and maybe figure out how to proceed, or we won't see anything because I'll have given up on this project.